All right, hello everyone, it's Silverkyle, and today we're going to be taking a look at everything that I picked up in the month of February 2023. And we've got some Omnibus, some video games, a novel, and some 4K Blu-ray, so we have a little bit for everyone here. There's also a few novels that I should have received in February, and potentially one Omnibus because of everything that's going on with Indigo.ca, which I've talked about before. And the thing is that I don't really know because I can't go into my account to look at my previous pre-orders yet. The website just allows you to get newer stuff at the moment and not log into your old account. So I'm still in the dark, and apparently there's still one book on the way, but that was last Friday that they sent that it was coming. So I don't really know what's going on. Either way, let's look at what I picked up last month. So starting off with the Omnibus, and I've done an overview for every Omnibus here that I have. So we have The Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 1. And I can't remember, there's one of these in here that had an excellent eye. I was just really impressed with the build quality in terms of the eye. The paper quality is IMAX though, so be wary of that. But if you're looking for a good eye, I'm trying to see if Avengers wasn't too bad. Okay, not the Spider-Geddon, not Spider-Verse Spider-Geddon one. That one I just checked to see for the eye. Although this is a massive book. This is insanely huge. It's crazy how much they can now fit into these omnibus. I mean, you're losing paper quality for that because you're getting thinner paper, but the books that we're getting nowadays are just insanely massive. It's ridiculous. On the one side, I'm like, yes, big books, but well, I'd almost rather to still have those massive big omnibus, because DC had a few that were like 1,500 pages, and they were absolutely massive in terms of their width. Which they should be, which means that they had thick paper, but the build was freaking awesome as well. Blackest Night comes to mind. I know that I don't think a lot of people think that Blackest Night is a potentially good omnibus in terms of the eye, and then it closes like a mousetrap. Mine doesn't. I worked well on it though. Like I took my time with it. I took probably 20 minutes, but it's because I really respect Jeff Johns and his material, and I wanted to read it as best as I possibly could. So I did that with all of his books. I took a little bit more time with them because I wanted them to be perfect, and they have been. Anyway, just a little bit of Green Lantern, Jeff Johns love right there for you. We also have Fantastic Four Volume 2 by John Byrne. So I've got the entire set there, which is exciting. There's also something happening with Jonathan Hickman. I think he's got something coming out this summer in terms of some big event. I'm gonna have to look into that and potentially see if it's something that I want to pick up, because I do pick up single issues every once in a while, and big events, if they interest me. I don't think I would get all of the side stuff, but maybe the main event, I might get that, so we'll see. Anyway, that's all the omnibus. Now, the only book that I have, because I ordered it from Amazon, is Greg Iles, The Quiet Game by Greg Iles. I just recently started it, and I'm interested in this by far. One of my friends recommended this, so I think I kind of want to read, depending on how things go with it. I think I might want to read the entire Pen Cage series, because there is a new Pen Cage novel coming out later this year. I think in the summer, I believe. And what's interesting, from what he was telling me, is that this was in '99. That he published that, and I think that the character has aged since then. So I think he's 38 in this one, so he would be, 24 years older, which is wild to think. So he's going to be in his 60s. Is that right? I don't know if it's going to be exactly aging like that. I think he was telling me something like that. Either way, I'm enjoying it so far, and I think I will be reading the rest of the novels. I just don't know if I'll have them all done in time for the new novel later this summer. Let's go into the video games, because one of them I'm going to be doing an unboxing for, which is Metroid Prime Remastered. I've never played Metroid Prime. I'm extremely happy that they decided to remaster this. I was really hoping for an HD trilogy though, like just getting all three of them and paying $80 or even $90 at that point in time. I would have done it, because this was $50 here in Canada. And while I'm happy that they did the first one, I'm worried that they might not do the second and third, because I would like to play those on Switch before I play the fourth one, which I don't even know. I mean, having this come out kind of makes me feel like it is going to be coming out, but 2 and 3, what's going to be happening with those? I would be cool though if first one comes out this year. I know people are not going to like this. Second one comes out next year. The third one comes out in 2025, and in 2026 we get the fourth one. I know people that are fans of this series would absolutely hate that, but I have no idea when I'm going to actually put this into my schedule. to play, so I'm kind of okay with that. Because the thing is that I've heard so many good things, but I'm always so afraid to play Metroid because I'm so worried that I won't like it. Because I look at the videos and I'm like, yeah, I might like that, but there's a lot of backtracking, and backtracking is the most boring thing that you could ever do in a video game for me. For other people, there's a whole genre of like going, I mean, Metroid, but there's a lot of games that go back in time and you go to places that you've gone before, but I just don't like that. I always like moving forward and I don't like looking back, just like in life. Shut up, Kyle. Next up is Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, the HD remake that we have on PlayStation 4 here. I was thinking of getting it on Switch, but I was like, I want the achievements, or the trophies rather. Don't say achievements, they're not achievements. They because it's a little bit more fun and a little bit more enticing. I assume it would probably run a little bit better on the PlayStation because I would be playing this on PS5 as well, and compared to my Switch. And it was $20 on Amazon, so I decided to pick that up at the time. And then we've got a few Blu-rays here. Let's go with the collection first. I had it in my mind that I want, and then I ended up just not watching it yet, but I think I might actually watch the first one tonight. I ended up getting the Bourne complete collection. So this includes the Bourne trilogy, Bourne Legacy, I believe, which has, what's his name? Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner. He's gone through some horrible stuff too lately, with some accident with his snowplow, and his legs are all mangled up. I really hope that he is able to recover and walk again, because it seems as though it could be that bad. And I would love it if he can somehow get back complete motion into his legs and be able to act again, because if he can't, have running scenes, he can't be Hawkeye. Well, there are ways that they could get around that, but it's just, that's really unfortunate. And it sounds like he was helping his neighbor. So he was doing something really positive, and he ended up getting injured from that, and that just I really think about that for people that are doing something for somebody else and something bad happens to them. That's really unfortunate. Anyway, and I've never seen that one, the one with Jeremy Renner, but now I'm definitely going to check it out. And it also includes the fourth Bourne actual movie, because Bourne Legacy doesn't have anything to do with Jason Bourne, but the fourth one does. And I still enjoyed the fourth Bourne movie. I enjoyed the four actual Bourne movies quite a bit, and I also want to really read the Robert Ludlum books. I was just thinking about them, and I was looking at some first editions of the Bourne books, and I was like, why don't I just watch the movie? That would just be a ton of fun. And in 4K. And I can't remember how much that was. I don't remember. Collateral, which I just watched a few nights ago, this is just absolutely phenomenal. This is Cruise's, I would argue that this is Tom Cruise's best acting I've ever seen from him, where he's a villain with Jamie Foxx. He's a hitman, and he ends up employing Jamie Foxx, who's his taxi cab driver, and he keeps him for the rest of the night as he goes around LA, the nightlife LA. And this movie completely captures nightlife LA. It's perfect in that regard, and it's an incredible thriller. And I would say that this is his second best movie. I preferred Top Gun Maverick, but in terms of acting, I would say that this is the best he's ever been. And I would love for him to play the villain a few more times. Like, it's very rare that you get these action heroes play the villain, and they do it so well. Mel Gibson is another one. Like, he was one that for the longest time, he was only a good guy. And in the last few years, he's played the villain a handful of times. And a horrible movie, Machete Kills. I liked Machete, the first one. Machete Kills is absolutely horrible, but Gibson is excellent in it. And same thing with Expendables 3. I wish that Gibson would play the role of a villain a few more times. And Harrison Ford, he played the villain once. And I don't want to say what movie it's in, because if you haven't seen it, it's kind of a twist. And I would love for Harrison Ford to do that as well. But I mean, he's at 80 at this point. That'd be kind of fun. A grumpy old villain. Yeah, I'd be down for that. And last but not least, I got the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. I've seen the first two. I absolutely love the first How to Train Your Dragon. That is my favorite animated movie of all time. There's nothing that even comes close to it at this point in time. It's just absolutely perfect. Second one I very much enjoyed, and I just haven't watched second one I've seen, and I still liked it, and then quite a bit. and I just haven't seen the third one, which is odd because of how much I love the first one and still really like the second one. The second one is like an 8 out of 10, and I'm an extremely harsh critic. I mean, the Bourne movies are like 7 and 8s for me. Collateral's a 9. It's near perfect. This is a 9. This is an 8. That's... I don't think that shows you how much of a harsh critic I am, because I just gave really good reviews for all of those. I'd have to show you a bunch of other movies that I was trying to make, and I know I'm going on a tangent here. There's not a lot of you still watching, but thank you if you are at the end here. Let me know in the comments below if you made it to this point, because I'm always curious to see how many people are here. I know that not all of you want to comment, and that's fine. But anyway, tangents, I just go down this road. Anyway, I was trying to make a best list of 2022 films. I ended up watching nearly 30 movies, and I had a list of top 10, and I was just so sad with the quality of films from last year. And I think it's because I'm a harsh critic in terms of movies, because I've seen so many, and it's like, I know where this is going. It's nothing new. It's nothing nearly exciting. And there's no character development. The acting is okay, but it's just nothing amazing. And some of the movies at the bottom 10 were 6s. I mean, one of my, out of the 30 films that I had seen from 2022, only, I still had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which I thought was just one of the bottom, mid to bottom MCU movies. And that was in my top 10. And I was just like, I cannot publish this, a top 10 movies of 2022 with Doctor Strange still being there, because it was a 6 for me. I could not do it. So I just said, screw it. I'm not going to do a top 10 movies, because it was just so bad. But I will say that the top 3 movies that I've seen from 2022, just for those that are curious: Top Gun Maverick, by far, absolutely. Thank God 2022 had that, because that's the only movie that I gave a, well, I gave it a 10, but that's the only movie that, like, everything else after this is a 7 or lower. That's the only movie that got an 8, 9, or 10. There's no 8s, there's no 9s, only 1 10. That's the only saving grace from 2022. So Top Gun Maverick. Then my second favorite movie of the year was Hustle with Adam Sandler. Who would have known that Adam Sandler, I did see Uncut Gems, and he was excellent in that as well. But wow, Sandler, this is your calling. Do these kinds of movies. Hustle is awesome. It's on Netflix. He's a basketball scout. I can't remember which team it's for in the NBA, and it's awesome. It is excellent. Take a look at the trailer. I think it's something that's definitely worth watching. And the other number 3 was 13 Lives with Colin Farrell and Viggo Mortensen, which is based on a true story about the kids that were in, I can't remember where they were. They got stuck in a cave. It's a soccer team, a bunch of kids, Thailand maybe, I don't remember exactly where they were. Sorry for that, but they're somewhere where it's a soccer team that went into the cave to kind of do this prayer, and the water comes in, like the tide comes in, and they're stuck inside the cave. And this is the story of the people that went in there to try to rescue them, and it's an awesome movie. I very much enjoy that. That one's on Amazon Prime, I believe. I don't know if Top Gun Maverick is able to be viewed anywhere, but those are the top 3 movies. Those ones I can actually fully 100% say these are worth watching. There was a few others that I could say that were definitely worth watching, but there's only like 6 or 7 of them, and everything else I was just like, I can't recommend these necessarily. Not that they're recommendations, right? Like a top 10 is just the top 10 that you've seen of the year. I've taken way too long. The past 5 minutes, it's been about this. I really should have just done a video about the top 10 movies of 2022 and just talked about how dire straits it was. Anyway, thank you all for watching. You've been bearded in. Beardage!